speed is what my tip today is all about. It is that time of year again. It is time for Christmas mini sessions. Hello there, it's Craig from Unleashed Education here, and welcome to another editing toolbox video. In these quick videos, Charlotte and I like to give you a quick tip, trick or technique that you can use to help you speed up your editing process and make life a little bit easier. I am doing my Santa Paws shoots this weekend, so I had a friend around last night with her dog, and I used my little dog Ralph to test out my lighting and my setup and see how everything looks. So really what I want to do is batch process these images as quickly as I possibly can. Quite often when we're shooting for mini sessions, whether they're in the studio or on location, they're short sessions that we're charging a little bit less money than we normally would for. So anything that we can do to batch process, to speed up things, to be able to spend less time doing it, then obviously the more profitable these will be for us. So I like to go to each set of images. So if we look at this first set, this is my first setup that I usually do, and that is without Santa. And then from this image here, that is with Santa. So all of these with Santa images, I know that the lighting, the exposures and everything else is basically the same. If I click on this image and go to the develop module just by pressing D, I can make my usual adjustments here. So I'm going to increase the exposure and just do the usual things that I'm always doing to my edits. Okay, so we've sped through my edits there, but basically I've done some adjustments on white balance, on the highlights and shadows, contrast, clarity, dehaze, vibrance and saturation. I've sharpened the image as well. So now I've done that on this first image. I know that the adjustments that I want to do will be the same on all of the other images. And this is super fast. I'm just going to go right to the end, hold down Shift and click. And I have edited a couple already, so I'm just going to hold down Command and click on the ones that I've already edited, because I don't want to readjust what I've already finished editing. And then making sure that you have the image that you've applied the adjustments to in your image panel here, you can just hit this magic button, Sync. And that brings up all of the adjustment options that you have that you can now copy onto every single image all at once. I'll just take you through what these all are. So you've got treatment and profiles, which is anything that you've done at the top here. Your basic adjustments is everything in that basic adjustment panels. Tone curves, hue, saturation, basically all of these apply to the various panels in the right hand side here in Lightroom. The only things that I don't usually do will be cropping, because cropping is individual on each image. It's very rare that you want to crop multiple images in the same way. Healing for the same reason, and transform again for the same reason. The distortion depends on the angle that you're shooting at, so transforming any images is more on a case-by-case basis. I do tick the masking box sometimes, and if you've applied various masks, then you'll get mask 1, mask 2, mask 3, etc. down below that, and you can even select which of those masks you do want to apply. So sometimes you will check that as well. But this is basically my standard copy. I copy everything that I've already got checked in over. You can check all, you can check none, and then recheck and things like that in here as well. And then it's just as easy as pressing synchronize. And if I go to survey mode by pressing N, you can see those adjustments are coming up through the images there. There are a couple of other things to note with the sync button. You can switch on auto sync here, which will turn on syncing for the images that follow what you're doing. So if you make an adjustment on this next image that's slightly different, then it's going to apply them to the ones afterwards as well. I find that actually a little bit frustrating, because I usually forget that it's turned on, and I'm wondering why my images have all adjusted when I didn't want them to. So usually I don't use auto sync, I just use sync. Now the other thing is, if we go back to the grid view, you have got sync and sync settings here. So that's important to remember. If you're in grid view and not the develop module and you press sync, that's actually going to synchronize the metadata of the images and not the adjustments that you've made. So just be wary of that one too. You don't want to just necessarily sync all your metadata. And then you've got sync settings is on the right hand side here in the grid view, and that is where you'll get this box pop up again. So batch processing, nice and easy. Now I've done all of those adjustments, I can go through the images one at a time and I can flag all the ones that I want to put in my shortlist for the final edits, a bit of vignetting and, you know, the usual stuff, sparkly eyes, cropping, all of that stuff. But hopefully that is really helpful for you guys. I hope it makes editing your Christmas sessions and any sessions really a little bit faster for you. Have a great Christmas, enjoy your festivities, and I will see you again very, very soon.